Alright guys, if you were to see me talk about this topic 5-6 months ago, you would guess that I'm talking about stitching. And this has been very popular recently, but not anymore. The reason why people were crazy about stitching is because of the one thing which it provides, the freedom to test many products quickly. So speed of testing products, and it actually lacked quality because it was limiting you to test what other creators had, and it was unethical. That's primarily why we never did it. And I've been talking about this for a while. Everyone was going crazy over this. AI, on the other hand, has always been here. It's only getting better, in fact. So slowly people have realized stitching is not the move, and now they're walking to AI marketing. So these are the main two things you gain with AI. Although this may seem like the best thing in the world, it also has some consequences. So the problem with this is that there's pretty much zero barrier of entry. And you need to be aware of this because it's just part of the game. So right now you could be running the best product in the world, but competitors could literally snap it in a few minutes. So now that I've explained this, and this is very important, now we can get back to the question. How do people run products without ever touching it? So the technical way of doing it, we're going to be focusing on AI. So you need to first create the images. We're going to be using Nano Banana Pro because this is pretty much what everyone has been using for the past year and a half. But recently we have actually more options for the AI images. It's going to be GPT-2. This is very recent and it's actually very good. Next is going to be Seedream. And recently this has been my favorite. So Seedream 4.5. 4.5 gives you 4K images. By far the highest quality I've ever seen. So pick wisely. And by the way, they have different uses. So these two I would say are better for products. And then this one is better for UGC. So this is how I structure things. Now that you know how to create the images, I can tell you even where to source them. So how do you even get access to these tools, right? If you have CapCut Pro, then you can get access to them for free. By free, I mean you have free entries per day, and then you have some credit that you get every month with your Pro. Nothing sponsored, I'm just telling you what I personally use. So this is from CapCut. Alternatively, you could use them through Hixfield. And this is where I use Seedream 4.5. It's actually free there. So make the most out of it because it's actually limited time where it's unlimited usage. But yeah, I currently separate them because like Nano Banana Pro and GPT-2 are actually paid on Hixfield. So it's not worth it for me. I prefer to spend the points on videos. So this is how I structure things. When it comes to videos, it really depends on what you want to create. So if you want to create UGC content, you have a few options. Recently, the biggest gem, I would say, has been the new tool by Hixfield called Soul 2.0. And this would actually require you to literally to create an avatar and it would save it. This is how people create a very consistent avatar throughout their content. So this is by far the most recent and probably the hottest one. Next point is going to be Dance by Seedream. Then you have VO3, I think it's 3.1. You have Kling. So you can see there's a lot of options to pick from. But I'm assuming you guys want the UGC. These two are the best for UGC. VO 3.1, Kling can be used for products and so on. So it's as simple as this. But I need to highlight the image part because it's really important to get the right reference before going into the video part. If you wanna, write a big prompt and then just rely on the prompt making you the video, it could be good. But the problem with it is that it's not very accurate. And every single time it's gonna be a different person. That's why it's better off creating the avatars through, these tools, plugging them into Soul, for example, or even the other ones like Dance, and then, using it over and over again so that this avatar is consistent throughout the content. Now, here's why this is very important to keep in mind, because this is great power, but you need to be doing this ethically. If you have ever watched my content, I mean, AI has always been around, but the reason why it's been a minute since I've been using it is because I was trying to figure out how to do it ethically. So once again, people were doing stitching, then they did AI backshipping, and now, luckily, I would say I was early on into this because we've been working very closely on the brand. It's been in the making for 5-6 months. So we've been digging down the rabbit hole on how can we market with AI ethically. And I would say we're early on because we've been doing it for like 3 months, but we found a way, and that's a good news. You could always find an ethical way of marketing with AI. So these two have never been an option. I would say that's the hard part, in my opinion, to find an ethical way of marketing. So you guys need to do your research because it would depend from one product to another. And I fuel all of this with prompts from Claude. This is my personal favorite. Moving on to the platforms. You need to make sure that you have the right accounts to get the right audience. And this is probably the biggest challenge for organic dropshipping. So I'm going to give you some sauce to end this. It's probably the highest ROI thing to do is to recycle old accounts or to get an aged account for any platform, regardless of what it is. Previously, it was known that, it's only important for Meta. Even TikTok, it has proven to work for our brand that getting old accounts is better than starting fresh. So you get a quick link in bio on TikTok and even better algorithm. So this is really important to mention. Next point is going to be for Meta. Meta is a tricky one. So the reach on Meta, it's more of a global platform. We have team members in the US, all around the world, and unfortunately, it's an ongoing concern of how to improve the reach. So the number one thing I've realized is that demographic doesn't really matter to an extent, okay? It may play like 25% of the whole equation, but the rest is really about the content, the warm-up method, and just the overall account standing. So there's some accounts which are just worse than others. It's just part of the game. So this is something I have to mention. I know some people don't believe in the warm-up method, but it's really important. And this is based off me running products for 3 years plus. If you were to ask me 2 years ago, I'd probably say warm-up is not a thing, but it really becomes more important the more specific you are with your marketing and with your product. So you're better off warming up every single time to at least help the algorithm. Even if it was like 1%, it's better than nothing. So yeah, I just wanted to end this with saying recycling all accounts is probably the highest ROI thing you could do. And warming up is actually good. But yeah, it's obviously one part of the puzzle. So there's obviously the format, the content quality, even the post timing and the audio. These are some factors to keep in mind when posting. So keep that in mind. Just wanted to give you this final note for this video because I know a lot of guys have this problem regardless of where they live. You could be living in the US and have bad reach. It's normal. So better off get everything right, including the warm-up. Okay, even if it was 1%, better than nothing. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If this has taught you guys something new, subscribe, join my Discord. We have a free community, okay? There's no courses sold here. And if you want to be part of the affiliate program, we're working on this brand for a while. It's not a pump and dump. So if you want to feel like you're part of something real, let me know on Discord. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next one.